Hey, Kev, grab my bag there, will you? My computer's in there.
Yeah, I got a camera in this one.
I thought I need to get my freaking camera still. 3, 2, 1. You didn't make it.
Maybe you should be on the other side.
You're forced to extemporize on this side before we go over.
We got a red light.
We've had a lot of red lights in our life. That's all I've ever had.
Yeah, the whole world is a red light district now.
Yeah, I think this is freezing nicely.
Hold on, let the dog walk through. Gotta watch Beef and Fufu on the beach in California.
How many minutes do you have?
This is our pre-symposium to the Helen Caldecott event. We're about to cross the street to the Met National History Museum.
Thanks.
Your jacket's still back there.
Chair of Despair
Can you grab that?
is with us.
Can we grab it?
Yeah, because we'll stay on the other side.
We got this off the street here
Okay,
in Manhattan.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Get us going across the street, Patrick. Go, Patrick.
Go, go, go.
This your first protest?
We'll get the Nubians to do it next time for you.
I'm going. You see us?
Of course, of course. I'm an expert videographer.
Hey, Patrick, trade me. You take it. Okay, we're in front of Teddy's house. Popism is dead. We were going to do this at the Met, but the Koch brothers didn't want us to, and they run the world. But the fact of the matter, it should be at Teddy's house anyway, the naturalist. Now remember when he went on a Slaughterfest, he said the reason he did it with his indentured slaves was to preserve all the creatures that were going to be extinct. And he satisfied the parts, and don't get me wrong, I love Teddy. And I wish he would have invaded Canada. But anyway, so, sorry to you Canadians, but not for you. Now I want people to understand, this is, right now, Prince William is at Fukushima, Japan. Now anybody who doesn't think the nuclear industry is the royals, you're one fool. He's over there provocating. There's a triple meltdown going with no answers whatsoever. The museums blackball the truth. They hate, I mean the Koch brothers over there at the Met. Well, I want people to understand that Jackson Pollock protested to this very square inch. We're going to protest in honor of Jackson and in honor of Motherwell, the whole herd of them. So, they're over there now. Now, Teddy's thesis for building West is to preserve the creatures that he knew. He said man or evil, because he knew. He participated in the slaughter of the buffaloes. But he changed, and he says, I want to preserve the creatures. By the way, there's thousands of extinct creatures in there, including Native Americans. And you can laugh at that all you want. So, why we're doing this, because the next creatures that are going there are these two-legged beer-drinking mammals.
Looks like us.
Humans, because we're trying to make this planet extinct for real. And so who's going to view these creatures? I mean, if everybody's dead, this nuclear catastrophe, we keep walking this plank, who's going to view them? Well, Miko Kako got it right, didn't he?
Yes.
What did he say? He says you'll be walking around with your virtual pets. Your virtual pets. So Miko Kako's virtual pets will be in there viewing, and their robots, and Helen's robots will be in there viewing, because
the robots will be part of the
Kev,
exhibit.
go ahead.
It will be the oligarchic golems with their virtual robots.
Head down that way. Let's get moving.
Let's keep moving. So we don't
Culture
get
is not your friend. Aesthetics are entombed alive in places like this. Popism is dead.
They just don't know it's dead.
They just don't know it's dead.
What do you think, Ackerman?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think it's not working.
What ain't working? It's working beautifully. Kev, come switch up. Get your hand on there.
I'm not talking about our protest. I'm talking about everything else.
right?
Not working? Of course
working.
it's working.
It's working perfect.
What are you? I thought you were.
What's the matter with me?
Aren't you a eugenicist? John Holdren? It's working
I'm part of the-
beautifully. Here, get on there.
No, Blanche, I'm part of the winning team. I'm part of the winning team.
Oh, you live in one
Yeah.
of those places up
I-
there?
Yeah, the east
So
side.
you don't get
The
cancer,
east.
right? You can't get cancer, right?
No, I'm immune.
You're gonna get your own planet?
I'm immune. I'm part of the winning
And then
team.
these guys, they all got chemtrailed and GMO'd, so they got a crutch, and I don't mean Charles Crutch. So you got an excuse. You can't participate because,
I work too much.
well, you've been GMO'd, and the fluorine in the water ruined you. Did your mother feed you Ritalin because you had ADD? What about those vaccines they gave you? So you got no chance. You know, and they chemtrailed you, so you can't think. You're a zombie, right?
Yeah, they got into the water.
Yeah, they got us. They got us.
Okay,
This-
head that way.
They
This
got us.
art movement in the age of fission is the art that's being made that nobody is making, that we've decided to make in the age of fission. Post-ignorance, popism is dead. What is the next stage after popism is dead, Kevin? What's after popism?
Post-ignorance.
And the free radicals who deliver post-ignorance.
Right.
That's what it's about. So,
Yes.
popism is dead. The free radicals.
Now, what is
deliver
post-ignorance?
What is post-ignorance? Is that you're asking?
Yeah,
My idea?
I mean, it's everything.
Post-ignorance throws a blanket over all of culture, over all of history, and creates a new beginning. We're in a new stage. We're in the age of fission. We got to get through this. We got to get through this, and post-ignorance is the idea of getting through this. There is no hope. There is no hope without this new culture. We need this new culture.
I want you to remember one thing. When Teddy and his Rough Riders kicked the Spaniards out, and the president said, "No way, you ain't going in there." They were a group of the most famous artists, poets, Hudson River artists from right here, who lived right there.
Hudson
They
River.
lived right here. Some of the greatest poets and artists, and I mean from A to Z, left, right, up, down, every idea. Cowboys off the Western Plain, poets, painters in New York City, they all came together.
Yep.
And he says, and Teddy crazy? Oh, beyond crazy.
Did they ride to go, did they cross the border into Canada? Did they get there?
No, they went to Cuba and kicked the Spaniard
Oh, I
out
see. Okay.
and said that was a gig. And they said, don't go. So they sent the Navy with them. But Teddy led the charge up the hill because he says the only thing, I didn't get my job loaded. He got shot, by the way. I mean, he was crazy. Do not kid yourself. He was full blown. I love the crazy bastard. But he wanted to invade Canada next. And they wouldn't let him invade. But if you don't think...
The little kittens.
Now,
royal
it's 70 years ago right now was Yalta by the Sea. Here was the deal. The Atlantic Conference, which is the UN, right over there. Now, what's in front of the UN? What's the statue in front of the UN?
Shiva.
No, it's even worse. Saint who?
St. Anthony. I don't know. Saint who? Come on.
Stomping on the dragon with his freaking...
Oh, George.
Come on, St. George.
St. George.
So let's get
Dragon
real.
Slayer. Yeah.
So the deal with the Atlantic Conference was this. Now, I'd say about this Teddy. He came up with the square deal, which Franklin turned into the New Deal, which Alan Greenspan Rand, who used to walk around, Ayn Rand used to live right there on her welfare checks, turned into the Raw Deal. And the greatest wealth dispiration, and by the way, we're going to head over to the debt clock with our sign next. You forgot about that? By the way, Chris built that debt clock. He's going to be here with this guy who built it. So, here's the thesis. It's simple. At the Atlantic Conference, the deal was no royals. 70 years, no royals, right? Winston, you're the odd man out. Stalin, you take all of Eastern Europe. Now, he got a Nobel Real Peace Prize, not like our boy
Obama.
Marie Antoinette.
Barry Antoinette. Let them eat yellow cake. He holds his while he drones babies. So, no, he got one for settling the score between the Japanese and the Russians, remember? So did Sakharov, remember? Oh, the Tsar bomb, bing bang. So they didn't share it. Why? Because FDR dropped dead. So they don't share it. So they march my father into the trenches, human guinea pig them. Then I get leukemia. By the way, 3 years ago yesterday, the doctors cut me loose. Today is the day. They said 3 years after the last chemo, guys, which was yesterday, a big day for post-ignorance. But popism is dead because this is the great equalizer. The age of fission. Nuclear fission is the great equalizer. So,
And the next stage is to find the work.
And these
That-
are the linchpins of the new spirit that's going to
Oh.
get us through the shit.
I got news for you. You're all hung out to dry. You're nothing but laundry. You're nothing but freaking radioactive laundry, every one of you.
Yeah, me
Now
too.
you're an
Am
elitist.
Totally elitist. I'm on the winning team.
Your money's not going to save you.
I'm on the winning team.
Your
Of
money's.
course
What, you got your own
come
planet?
on, it's gonna. I don't know.
That's what they say. Oh, they got their own planet somewhere. That's what.
I believe in those oligarchs and the winning team.
Well, what happened to Steve Chinese Jobs?
I guess he didn't have enough money. That's all.
Well, he was only
Just
worth
not
what,
enough.
200 billion?
Something like that.
That's not enough.
No, it wasn't enough.
They've got a planet made of boron.
Is that what it's made of?
A planet.
That's what I heard on the internet.
No,
I heard that on the internet.
Isn't the planet made of gold? They have all that gold and then they survive.
No, they're made of gold. The planet's
And they got their bullets. Don't forget their bullets.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
So
Now I really get
why we're here.
I wired on those Nubian slaves in there though.
Yeah, isn't that something? He had 2 of them just for his tent alone. He had 200 when he was after slaughtering animals, but he did preserve them. So he preserved them. So now we're preserving. So we're going to stuff Patrick today. We're going to stuff the baby wolf today because that's what we're going to be. Who's going to be able to view what's in there to see? This is the Natural History Museum. So the progression of history is this: dead humans through radioactive. So who's going to view the dead humans? Miko Kako told us. The virtual pets. Virtual pets and robots, Helen said, they all said are taking over the world. I saw it. I saw it right on NBC. Good Morning America. Miko Kako said, don't worry about the drought in the Western United States. Oh, it was like that for centuries. It's just a giant dust. Oh, no biggie. He forgot to read Don Quixote in San Diego. It's a fucking moron's what he is. He needs his ass kicked.
There's no such thing as a human resource anymore. We are obsolete.
Well, we're going to stuff you so we can preserve it for history,
Okay,
Patrick.
good.
What about you, babe? Well, no. Let's take the oldest first. Let's take the oldest first. We got
I volunteer. I volunteer.
So if there's any of you humans left
Right up.
here in a few years after they completely, Fukushima happens at San Onofre, it happens at Diablo Canyon, it keeps happening at Indian Point, and it kills the earth, burns to the freaking center. Oh, that's science, right? No, that's not science. That's Einstein. China syndrome, Argentine syndrome on Balco. So when everyone's dead, we're going to have Patrick and Ackerman's stuff to put in here next to Isa, the last wild Indian, next to the cheetahs, next to the extinct butterflies, next to the extinct sea turtles, next to the sea lions, next to the starfish, next to the orcas. Right. The whales down there, we'll have you stuff, and who will come to visit it? He'll sit here.
Next to the heat vent worms at the bottom of the ocean.
The virtual pets, Miko Kako said so, from Cal Berkeley, bringing star power to Earth. Stand tuned.